Okay, so we are in a stage right now where we want to move from this, volunteer-based social venture kind of things to a profit-making company. But we started using Google Ads for 2 months now. But the kind of page views that we have, 3,500, we're just able to make $1 a day, which is not something which will help us in becoming self-sustainable. We got a corporate sponsorship 2 months ago. A small sponsorship to run a poster campaigns across India. They said, please, put our name on the posters and you can send it across. And then we've got some money from our advisors to, to actually help with technical support of the portal. So that's it.
So I understand what you're trying to do. You need to think about it in kind of step by step. Okay. First thing is, what you need, it's a bit of a chicken and egg issue. Any consumer internet venture is a chicken and egg, right? You need the consumers to get the advertisers, and you need the advertisers to be able to build a business. You're talking about an advertising supported model, right? There is pretty much no other way to monetize this business than advertisements, at least not at this point.
Yeah.
Not initially. So you need a critical mass of students. Students is your target audience. Yes?
Yeah, exactly.
So you need a critical mass of students for it to be interesting for the advertisers or the corporate sponsors or whatever are these, monetizing mechanisms. And for the students to be interested in the site, you need enough content or value in the site. So I've actually looked at your site.
Okay.
You need to focus on something that students can believe that, if I go there, this is something that I will fully be able to cover. Today it's a bit haphazard. It's kind of not comprehensive, right? If you are telling me that if I'm a student, you are going to be managing my entire scanning of internships out there or events, career development events, or whatever types of professional development. So you have to give me a value proposition which makes me want to come back. A little bit of this event and a little bit of that internship is not going to give you that positioning. To be able to support a positioning that I will be your eyes and ears for all kinds of opportunities out there, that's what you're trying to say. Then you have to deliver on that value proposition before you can have people to come. Right?
Yeah. So another question that I had was that, does it make sense to add a social networking layer on this website? One school of thought is that, people...
I would ride on top of other social networks. So try to maybe do a little application, that is a Facebook application, an Orkut application, a High Five application. I think all of them have these APIs on which numerous developers all over the world are producing games and social media apps and so forth. That's the strategy I would take, is to come up with an application that can provide that function, that kind of personal assistant, opportunity assistant, let's call it. Personal opportunity assistant. That for every student anywhere in India, let's say, that you are, but on the delivering on that value proposition, you have to figure out how you provide that value proposition, because otherwise they're not going to use that service, right?
Yeah.
So that's number one. Second thing you could look at is, once you have figured out how to deliver on that value proposition of collecting the internships and collecting the opportunities, and make sure you figure out how to differentiate from job portals. You cannot be a job portal. There are Simply Hired is going to beat you hands down. There's no way you can compete with a Simply Hired as a job portal. So you have to somehow position yourself in a niche that is students and internships and so on and so forth. But if you can create a certain level of content, then what you're going to get as a result of that potentially is a lot of search engine traffic that is organic search traffic. Organic search traffic is 88% of the web's traffic in general. This is for everybody to make note of. paid search is only 12%. So if you have any business that you're trying to get people to know about, before you spend money on paid Google search or paid Yahoo search or whatever, think about how to leverage organic search. And organic search is keyword driven. It kind of leverages the content on your site. So my guess, my kind of hypothesis is if you can develop enough content, enough context-specific content. Remember Web 3.0? I don't know if you're familiar with my Web 3.0 formula. I covered that in detail in volume 1 of Entrepreneur Journeys. If you can develop enough context-specific content, that content would automatically collect a bunch of traffic, of the right traffic potentially.
Okay. And what about making the experience much more personalized? Like I recommend opportunities, I give you related articles, I add a lot of applications, but I don't know how much value is
personalization is the biggest unmet opportunity, unleveraged opportunity on the web today. Again, this applies to a lot of you. Personalization is the biggest unleveraged opportunity on the web today. So we have only scratched the surface of personalization.
Cool. And in terms of advertisements, I really don't have much knowledge. I've been using Google Ads till now for the past 2 months, and I don't think that, there's something that you can make a business out of. I mean the kind of page views that we have, we're really not making any money out of it almost. But so what are the other prospects in the advertisement? Is it something like you build your own advertisement?
Sponsorship, maybe. You can get if you can get 500,000 students. I don't know how many students are there in India at the college level, let's say.
At the college level, I think I don't know.
Lakh maybe. Around 5 lakh.
Oh no, much more than that probably.
No, more than that.
In millions probably. Around 5 million. College itself draws around a lakh of students per year.
Which one?
No, there are 4 lakh pass outs of just engineering students. Yeah, so it'll be millions of students because around 4 lakh pass out of engineering institute.
Yeah.
So if you
And 50 to 60% of them probably would be using the internet, or more than that probably.
Yeah. So let's say conservatively, let's say you can put together 500,000 or 700,000, 750,000 students in unique students in your portal. Then you can go to corporate sponsors and tell them that, hey, I'll help you staff your internships, or I'll help you staff your I guess internships is the best way to get them to sponsor, to engage with the community. The monetization is going to be somewhere in the domain of advertising and sponsorships from the corporate players who want to engage with the student community, I think.
Okay. Again, within the scope of advertisements, if I have a portal where I have a featured post and a lot of opportunities on the homepage, and they change every 5 minutes or 15 minutes. Is that something that is going to help me monetize or use ads much more rather than having an opportunity posted every 2 hours? I mean, if it's really very dynamic, does it really make a difference?
I don't know. I don't know how search engine optimization works in that context. That's a good question. It's something you have to research, but I'm sure you can find that information.
For sure.
There's a company called Enquisite. This is one of my clients that is doing some of the most cutting edge work in search engine optimization. And Richard Zwicky, the founder of Enquisite, he does this kind of roundtable on search engine optimization, online roundtable. So you should hook up with Richard and go to one of his roundtables and ask him the questions. Probably get the answer much better. This is not an area that I know at that level. So, but I think there is value in being, if you can aggregate 500,000 students, there is value in that.
True. Yeah.
So,
yeah. Okay. Thanks a lot, Sramana.
You're welcome. Violeting Santa Clara, Ruchi Sharma.
Thank you, Sramana, for the opportunity. I'll just start with how we see cloud, because there are many interpretations in the industry market. We see cloud as like delivering services over the internet, the services which are like so long